Next demo,
Actually yell at him.
is ready to go.
All right, so this is just a little impromptu demo. I had meant to just kind of have this on display in the back, but we can't turn the lights off, and I got a computer that's being obstinate, so go ahead and bring it up here. I have a couple of different display devices that are just maybe not necessarily practical, but they are kind of neat to have. Yeah. So the first thing is a little mini projector. This is it's about 80, maybe 100 lumens. Has a display resolution of 320 by 240, which is perfect for old systems. HDMI input, VGA input, composite input. Right now, what I have it connected to is my F18A based console, and in here we can't see it very well, but I hear the internet can see it pretty well. So I'm hoping that this will be a worthwhile show. But for something portable, this thing was like $30. And if you just want something simple, something that just throw it up on the screen, it works really great in dark rooms. I've actually used it at home quite a bit. And so this is just kind of give you a quick little show of how it works. I want something that moves, so we'll do some TI invaders. Except, of course, this computer's going to be obstinate as well. See, if technology didn't suck, I'd starve. So.
It's a TI demo. What do you expect?
Right. Hey, man. All right, we're gonna fingers crossed and hope it works. Otherwise, at least you can see that it does work. So let's go back in here. If this doesn't work properly, we can blame FedEx. Yeah, so it's not going to run, but we can at least see with the master title screen. Oh, nice. Yeah, so that works a lot better.
That works. We can see your screen now.
Fabulous. Yeah.
There it is.
So there's your master title screen. You can see that the little projector does put up a good screen. It's not stretched out of proportion. It's not artifacted like you would see on a lot of screens where they have to widen it out. The 320 by 240 resolution is I think that's QVGA. So there you go. Let me see if I can at least get one thing to load on this before we move on to the LCD screens.
Do you have the PEP on?
No, it's not connected. I'm using my
You need
machine.
50K,
Does the flash run not for TI invaders, does it?
probably.
It depends which version of TI.
Just
Yeah.
turn on the PEP and see.
All right, let's do that. That's a good idea. We'll fumble around in the dark. There we go. Well, I can do that. I told you this is an impromptu. Who has a flashlight? Thank you. My eyes don't work as well as they used to. All right. I feel like Bill Gates up here. Now we plug the USB into Windows 98 and oh, somebody's getting fired.
Look at these bright LEDs sort of make me wonder if you couldn't pop the lid on that thing and just
We're not saying
LED on the
Probably could have. This is my little modification to the flash ROM. You know, I got 100 blue LEDs for 25 cents on eBay, so you know they got to go on everything. Oh, give or take with shipping. I mean, you know. All right, let's see here. Let's see if this works. That might do it. Okay, there we go. So
you have the disc version converted to cartridge.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you can tell this one has the slashes on the zeros, and the font's a little bit smaller than on the standard. And I actually I let this run for about 2 days, I think it was, just to see what the high score got up to. I was really disappointed at how poorly it plays. So.
They aim well now.
They do. Well, I'm on downright nasty. So it's usable for $30. It's not bad. I mean, if you want to throw a little more dosh into it, you can probably pick up a fairly better one for maybe $100 or $200. I got a business class one that puts up 3,200 lumens for just over $400, and that's on my home entertainment system. And my hook the TI up to that as well with an upscaler, and it works great. So, all right, let's get some lights on if we can, please. And we'll move on to the next little thing is I just put a post up in the eBay thread on Atari Age talking about these. They are these little LCD screens. These, I promise, work much better than the projector. But this is the little projector that I'm talking about. It's a little pile. It comes, there's a couple of other brands. I'm pretty certain these were OEM'd by some Chinese company. And they all have the same specifications. They have remotes. They do have a composite input, which I have not tested, and I may actually get to test that today. So the next thing is, this is what I have in the thread on the on Atari Age and the eBay.
Does the tripod come with it?
No, the tripod does not. This is just a little camera starter kit that I got. But the nice thing about it is it does have the standard screw on the screw hole on the bottom. So because otherwise it sits flat, the rubber feet don't really do anything useful. So you can use any kind of a tripod from like a little starter to even a full-size one. Pick them up at Best Buy for like $12, $15. You can get ones about that high. So the next thing I have is, again, this was posted up in the eBay thread on Atari Age. Oops, these little LCD screens, and Mike and I kind of postulated a little bit on the ability to incorporate these into the actual console. But this one is a 5-inch. The problem that we have with a lot of our old equipment, whether it's TI, Atari, Commodore, Sega Genesis, Nintendo Entertainment System, is the signal output is actually 240p. It's not an official designation, but it is a 240-line progressive signal, which means that we get the full screen every 60th of a second. Whereas most of your equipment is set for 480i. So it's 480 interlaced, and that means you get 1/60th is one half line, or odd lines, the next 60th is the even lines. A lot of your upscalers, you have problems with that as well because they don't know how to sync to the signal that these put out. So either they don't display video or it'll show up black and white. What I have found is I found a few of these little things. These are relatively inexpensive, anywhere from, depending on the dealer you get them from, $13 to $20. And this is a little 5-inch screen. And when I turn it on, we have power here. Yes, we do. I should have video. Hey, also, these run off of 12 volts. That's a very important thing. These are actually backup cameras. Screens for backup cameras in cars. So for aftermarket backup cams. And you see, it doesn't look too bad. So for something, this one has a couple of different mounts. You can stick them to the case if you wanted to. It has a little suction cup mount that stays in place for about 5 minutes, give or take. But there you go. So little screen. There's also the other one that I have that I posted up in the thread is this little 4.5-inch unit. This one is probably a little more practical if you want to make your console portable, just because it closes up and then flips right up. So this one you can actually, it comes with a sticker that's the size of the base, or you can use something like command strips. You know, don't make it permanent. You know, or you could use some really nice epoxy and leave it on there for the next generation to archaeologically dig out of there for you. So, but that's it. Little 4.5-inch screen. Again, with the same problem with the upscalers is you're kind of taking a crapshoot on these. You can find ones that don't sync up properly, so you may throw $12 out the window. So, yeah.
280 column?
Yes, it will do 80 column, as a matter of fact, provided the composite signal puts it out. But you're not going to be able to read it very well. So, but that's it. You know, for a couple of bucks here and there, if you want to do a couple of neat things with your system, these will do it. You got your composite output. Like I said, you just got to be careful. I have put in the on the Atari Age thread. I've given links to the two auctions where I got these, so that I know these work. My plan is to crack them open and find out what the chipset is, so that might help us locate other units that might work if we want to do this. These screens come in various sizes, up to I think 8-inch, even 10-inch ones. So that could be useful at some point for somebody. So that's all I have. But this, if anybody has any questions? No questions? No answers?
You have to make a model of the small screens that do actually function properly on the thread.
I have the link to the auction, and I don't know if that actually has, because these are just they're just cheap little Chinese kits. So they were probably OEM'd, and they send them off to different manufacturers. They stamp their brand on it and then sell them to us. So I honestly don't know what they are, but that's why I wanted to look at the chipset, because a lot of devices are going to be based on, these chips are almost a dime a dozen, quite literally. So they're gonna mass produce them and just fling them out at the world. So if we can find out what chips are in there, then that might be helpful to find ones that we know are going to work with our old systems. And like I said, again, it's not limited to just the TI. It's also any video processor of the vintage. Your Ataris, your Sega Genesis later in the 80s, early 90s, Nintendo Entertainment Systems, Commodore 64. So, might be a neat little thing to have, just a little pop-up right there.
You can watch a movie on.
Well, you can't. Well, that's the other thing is it does have composite input. So anything that has a composite output, it'll display. So yeah, you could watch a movie on
Where
it.
do you buy them here in the States or what?
Get them on eBay. So, and a lot of your sellers are, even if they say they're in the States, they're kind of drop shipping from China or wherever.
I bought a lot of stuff like that from Alibaba and Wish.
Yeah.
You know those?
Yeah, and so that's another location to look for too. But
And no bad service.
no, well, and I think a lot of these sellers that are on eBay, they also have little marketplaces on like Amazon, Alibaba, and various places. So you're gonna wind up buying from the same place. As a matter of fact, this is one I got some stuff from that they actually run a storefront, and they sent me a link. It's about a half a page long of all these different places where you can buy their products. So, they're pretty smart. They're pretty industrious. These people that are doing it, and it winds up helping us out quite a bit, I think, in the end. So,
I do have one quick question.
yeah.
Now, say it's for any composite output, do you know if it's just 443 or will it also work for the Japanese composite?
That I do not know because I don't deal with esoteric stuff.
Okay.
That's your job.
Good answer.
So, all right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
At the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest this year, they introduced something called a 6502 badge,
Mm-hmm.
in which there was a processor and a display, and you pinned it on your shirt as you walked around and could scroll a message
Mm-hmm.
for people to read. So it would be cool if you could shrink the TI-99-4A into a badge with that display and walk around with, I'm single, or you single,
That would probably be like the biggest red flag for any potential eligible bachelorettes in existence. This is a TI-99-4A on my chest. I'm single. What's your name? Please? And in case you didn't know, there's a reason I'm single. So, but no, actually, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there? I know there's like a single chip Commodore 64 implementation. Isn't there a single chip TI implementation floating around, or designs for one?
One just got demoed, right?
Was that the? And that's a
The
single
one
chip. On
from
the,
Eric Peel is
okay.
a single chip,
Okay. All right.
but around is the I/O part, and you need a lot of extras around it.
Right. Yeah. You got to have a lot of it, but it is a single chip. It's not just.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So shrink that down even more.
One locator is it.
He did the 99105 version first. and
Right.
He'd like to put the rest in.
Dare I say emulation? Stick that on a little pie or
Does that say running on it?
There now, if I and you probably know this more than I do, and as a matter of fact, you do know more than I do. But isn't there was some issue with the Pi couldn't keep up with it perfectly?
I can't
or-
keep up with mess.
Yeah. Okay.
That's got messes deliberately doing a lot of low-level stuff.
Right. So and is there but any other
I
like
don't know if there's another one.
okay.
there's a TI emulator specifically for RetroPie.
Is there one now?
Yes, and it works. I mean,
Oh,
I got an image a working image from Shift.
Do you know what it's based on, or is it?
It's I don't remember the name.
Oh, that's what it's called. Kicker. I didn't know he was still working on it.
Well, and back on topic, if it has a composite output, you could use one of
You get
these.
an adapter for the composite output. Yeah.
So, or with the VGA or the HDMI output, you can even use the projector. So you could actually walk around with one of these pinned on your chest, and the TI Pi, and you could project your singleness all over the place. Put the TI in the back. Oh, you could put the TI in the back. You could mount this on your head like this. It could be like the bat signal to all the crazy cat ladies. That actually works.
Of course, it might just chase them away. You could sit there and spin it around the room and use it like laser launch to attract their attention.
I don't think women jump to moving lasers like cats do. I don't think. I haven't tried it. All right, guys. Thank you all very much.